first class together, right?
Yeah, this is our first time.
Okay, so how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Quite hungry, but I'm doing fine. Okay.
Mm.
By the way, let me just ask, is this a regular class or is this an evaluation class?
This is evaluation class.
Okay, just to make sure, because I've been confusing my regular students with my
Mm.
evaluation class.
Uh,
Okay,
okay.
since this is our evaluation class,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Have you chosen an article that we can talk about?
Yes, I
Mm-hmm.
read.
Which one?
Wait a minute. Solar,
Mm-hmm.
solar street lights.
Oh, solar streetlights. Wow.
Yeah.
What
Mhm.
made you interested in this topic, or what attracted you to this article?
Because um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in the solar, like solar powered street lights, like solar power
Ah,
system.
something
So
like it's self-sufficient, right? It doesn't
yeah.
need other source of power. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. So since you've read this one, can you give me a short summary of what you know about the
Uh,
article?
yes, this
Mm-hmm.
article is all about the solar powered street lights,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the countryside in
Mm-hmm.
India, they started
Mm-hmm.
to set up the solar powered street lights, and
Mm-hmm.
it is very
It is
um
very.
it is very the efficient way, is very
Mm-hmm.
good way to all people who live in countryside,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because even though it is at night, people
Mm-hmm.
can go around during the night, and they don't need to worry about the animal attack,
Mm-hmm.
so and so on. So compared to just the normal lights, the
Mm-hmm.
solar power street lights is more useful than the others.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Because it helps people. It helps them protect and see at night, right?
Yeah, help people to protect.
Okay. So for example, do you have your own house or do you own your own apartment?
Yes, I live in apartment.
Okay. So one day, if you're gonna have a house when you grow
Hmm.
up, right? When you grow older,
Hmm.
would you like to have solar panels at your house?
Solar power.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes,
I
in
think
the
everyone
future.
does.
But I
Mm-hmm.
heard that the cost of this solar power system would be very
Mm-hmm.
expensive.
Yeah, it is. And the
Hmm.
maintenance is also expensive because it's a new
Hmm.
technology, right?
Yeah, it is a new technology.
Okay. But for this one, what do you think are the bigger benefits? If you think of it in a
Mm,
national level, right? In a country,
uh, yeah.
what are the benefits of solar power?
We can protect our Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and also the very good point is that we don't need to
Mm-hmm.
pay some electronic electric
Mm-hmm.
electricity, the cost of the electricity,
Mm-hmm.
so we can save our money.
Mm-hmm. What else?
And what else?
For example, when it comes to environmental effects, what are the environmental effects of solar power?
Um, I think the solar power system is eco-friendly system.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we don't need to.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
For example, what
mhm,
would it help reduce, or what would it help to, for example, right? If we
mhm.
have solar energy, we won't need any coal, right? We don't need any coal power plants. We won't even need nuclear power plants, right?
We don't need. Sorry, we don't need to cool.
No, coal. Wait, let me type it for you. This one, coal, right?
Like
Coal power plants.
coal. Yeah,
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 because
yeah. That's right.
it
Mm-mm.
produce a lot of pollution, right?
Yeah, pollution from this.
Okay. So, for example, what other technology about sun power do you know?
Some power of other technology.
Like solar
Mm,
powered vehicles. What else do you know?
based on the like sun.
Yeah, based on solar power, what do you think are the other technology we
Mm,
have?
I'm not sure. Do you have some idea?
Oh yeah, actually there is. If you know, there's a plane. There's a
Display?
really long, yeah, there's a really long plane. It's flying 24 hours a day,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's been flying for 5 years. Okay, it's been flying for 5 years
Mm-hmm.
non-stop, and it's been taking pictures. Okay, so it's like a mapping airplane. So it looks like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's solar powered.
Mm-hmm.
Everything on its back, this is solar power. Everything here is solar powered,
Oh. Mm-hmm.
and it's been flying for 5 years non-stop. It's amazing,
Oh.
right?
What is for?
It's used for surveillance. Actually, we use this for
Forest?
forest surveillance, or maybe
Ah, really?
something like that. Yeah, it's going around the earth every hour. It's
Oh.
non-stop. It's really cool, right?
Mm.
The first plane died 2 years ago, right? It crashed
Mm.
land because of a hurricane, but they set up another one 5 years ago, and it's still flying after this day.
Mm.
It's really cool,
Mm.
right? So, what do you
Yes.
think? What else? What else can be powered with solar energy?
And also I know that the one of the like the planes, like
Mm-hmm.
one of kind of the planes, and the the kind of things will move
Mm-hmm.
from the solar power system, like from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
this is just the moving joys, like the moving planes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like this. This is actually it, right?
Yep.
Okay, so for example, can you imagine you're walking outside, you're wearing a cap, right? A baseball cap or something like that,
Uh-uh.
and then you're actually charging your phone while walking
Yeah,
outside,
yeah, yeah.
right? Or
I
something
also
like that.
imagine that. So like,
Mm-hmm.
we can get a free charge.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to use any electric.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like
Electric.
electric recharge, like electric charger? We don't need to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For example, what do you know about electric cars?
Electric car.
Mm-hmm. What's the
Electric
be-
car. Mm-hmm.
what's the benefit of owning an electric car?
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is just eco-friendly
Eco-friendly.
car.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to make any air pollution.
Mm-hmm. There's no air pollution, and it doesn't need oil, right?
Doesn't need oil.
Mm-hmm. What else? For example, right?
Uh-huh.
If
Yeah.
you did you know that right now they're trying to develop a car, right, with solar panels on its back,
Uh-huh.
right? Because as you know, if while you're driving a solar powered car, you need to charge the battery, right? But
You mean the solar powered car,
mm-hmm.
not
It doesn't.
electric car?
Yeah, solar powered car. No, it's still an electric car, but for this
Oh.
one,
Mm-hmm.
out when you charge your electric car, it's gonna run out of battery,
Oh
right?
yeah, they don't have a battery.
But once they develop the technology for a
Mm-hmm.
solar powered car,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually charge while you drive, right?
Solar
So it's
powered
like
car.
you have unlimited
Mm.
energy, right, or something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm.
Okay, so what else?
Yes. Because I heard that some disadvantage of electric
Mhm.
car is
Mhm.
that the battery will be gone very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. But the new
Mm.
Tesla, have you heard of Tesla before?
Sorry.
The Tesla cars. It's the brand of car by
Uh-huh.
Elon Musk.
Mhm.
It can go 2,000 miles
Uh-uh.
in a
Uh.
single charge. Okay, if you
Uh.
charge it full, it can go to 1,000 miles on a single charge. It's
Mm.
really far, right?
Mm.
But
But
imagine if,
yeah.
but
But also we don't have enough like the gas
mm-hmm,
station for the
mm-hmm.
electric car.
Yeah, that's one of
So.
the problems. That's why
Mm.
it's not that implemented. And at the same time, you need to have a charger at home,
Mm.
right?
Mm. Mm.
So that's one of the reasons why it's not that famous,
Mm.
right? But what do you think? What other alternatives can we use instead of solar power? What are the other ways to have electricity?
Um. What are those
For
things?
example,
Mm-hmm.
What other ways do you know for us to get clean energy?
Mm, clean energy.
hmm For example, have you seen this before? It looks like giant fans, right?
Ah, yes, it is also being moved by the
Yeah,
wind,
it's wind. Yeah, we call them wind turbines.
wind
Okay.
turbines.
Yeah, it's also one source of clean energy, right?
Mm-mm.
But let me tell you, let me ask you, which is more reliable, right? Nuclear
Mm,
energy,
mm-hmm.
nuclear energy, or wind and solar panels combined.
I think the solar panels would be more re reliable.
Okay, can you tell me how or why?
Because when it comes to windy, if
Mm-hmm.
like during the like it can be used just during the winter season, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't have any windy during the summer season.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
The
sometimes
production is lower, right?
yeah, production is slower.
Mm-hmm.
But however, when it comes to the sun, like
Mm-hmm.
every day we can see the sun. Of course, during the like heavy raining season, there will be
Mm-hmm.
no. But like 90% of the
It's
year,
sunny,
like
right?
yeah, we can see the sunny.
Ah, okay. But how is it better than nuclear power?
What is the nuclear power?
Have you seen this before? Something like it looks like this. It's a power plant that uses nuclear energy, right? Wait, let me show it to
Nuclear.
you.
Mm,
Yeah, nuclear power plants. Wait, let me show you.
mhm.
So basically, you know about atomic bombs. You know about atomic bombs? No.
Sorry,
Do you know about bombs? What do you know about atomic bombs
atomic
or
bombs,
nuclear? Yeah,
nuclear.
okay, or nuclear missiles.
Yes, I know that
Okay.
nuclear is a very dangerous weapon. Like
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah.
So basically, they're using that technology to.
Mm,
This is the one, right? There's a nuclear core
oh,
here and
oh
here.
really?
Yeah, and they use it for energy. Do you know why there's a steam? Yeah, that's water, right?
Oh.
Because below it, the core,
Mhm.
they use it gets super hot, right? It
Mm,
gets super hot, and that's
mhm.
where they get the energy or the
Mm-mm.
electricity.
Mhm.
Okay, so
I
why do you
didn't
think
know.
is this? Why do you think is solar more reliable than this one?
Mm. I don't know, but I think that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it dangerous?
Actually, this is one of the safest.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
The problem is,
Uh huh.
of course, there's always. You know about Murphy's law?
Sorry.
This one. Wait, let me just type it.
Mhm.
Uh, Murphy's law, right? Murphy's law states that anything will always come to its worst state. It will always get bad, basically. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So basically, even though this is the safest,
Mhm.
there's always a tragedy, right? There
Mm-mm.
can always be accidents. So what do you think should we do instead of using this nuclear energy? What do you think is safer, solar or nuclear?
I think the solar would be more safe here
Mm-hmm. Because.
because, mm, like, we can use anywhere if we
Mm-hmm.
have that device.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there was no steam and there was no
Mm-hmm.
infection.
It's like there's no residue. It's not gonna affect nature at all, right?
Oh, sorry?
It's not gonna affect
Uh,
nature at all, right?
affect nature at all?
It's like there's no consequence. It's not.
Oh,
There's no
yeah.
harm,
Yeah, there
right?
is no harm, consequence.
Okay. Well, talking about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just move here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The problem with solar energy,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If this is the solar panel,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is the solar panel, and this is you,
Mm-hmm.
right? This
Mm-hmm.
can power at least 5 lights.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the problem. It produces too little
Mm-mm.
electricity, right? That's why they think that nuclear power,
Mm-hmm.
right, can still it's still much more reliable
Mm-mm.
than solar panel.
Mm.
Okay. But continuing on, let's head back to the article. If you remember in the article, right, it
Mm.
told us that it's gonna be helpful to the poor,
Mm-mm.
right? It helps 240 million in India. But
Mm-mm.
what else? What other public services can we use this for?
Public, sorry.
Services, utilities. Wait, hang on. Services or utilities. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Services or utilities. What else?
Utilities.
Mm-hmm.
What
It,
else?
that we use in public. For example, what do you use in public transport whenever you're going out?
um, I usually use the bus
Mm-hmm.
or
The
the
bus.
subway.
Mm-hmm. Can you
Mm,
imagine if we're powering buses and subways with solar power, right? They can decrease the
yes.
price, right?
Yes, I can decrease the price.
Okay. What else?
But
What other utilities? But yes.
but I think that the setting of this device will be very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So like during sometimes like for the specific time, the
Mm-hmm.
price will be high.
Just to get back how what they cost,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And but however, when we
Mm-hmm.
use the solar power system, there
Mm-hmm.
was a lot of disadvantage like weakness points.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the sudden the bus can be stopped.
If there's
Yeah.
problem, it's just gonna stop. For example, it suddenly rained, right?
Oh
There's
yes,
no
suddenly
solar power.
rains. And even though
Okay.
they charge some power before,
Mm-hmm.
but if it is a heavy raining season
Mm-hmm.
like that, the bus don't have enough time to charge the solar
Mm-hmm.
power, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Those are
because
the
of
weaknesses.
this, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because of this weakness, many people don't want to use the solar power system. And
Okay.
I also heard that if we want to set up the solar power system, like
Mm-hmm.
some part of the money, some part of the costs
Mm-hmm.
that the government will support us,
Mm-hmm.
like some part of the money.
Some products. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. So the government said it's gonna support that
Mhm.
project if ever. Okay. Actually, one of the problems as well when it comes to solar panels, of course, it's made of glass, right?
Glass. Ah,
And
yes.
it gets dirty, right? You
Mm.
have to clean it every day. So meaning you need to have maintenance every day. At
Mm.
the same time, it's really fragile, right? What if a bird suddenly drops from the air? It's gonna
Yeah.
crack, right?
Mm-mm.
One of the reasons why they don't want to implement this is because of the cost of maintenance. Not every
Mm.
country, but
Mm.
actually, in Saudi Arabia or
Mm-mm.
somewhere in the East Mediterranean,
Mm-mm.
they're powering an entire country using solar power.
Oh, entire the
Yeah, entire country.
country they use the solar power system.
Yeah, because it's in the desert,
Oh,
right? It's
oh
in the desert,
yes. So
so they get almost.
For
Mhm.
the Middle East, like using the solar power system would
Mhm.
be like good choice for the environment and for saving the money.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you know about? For example, in the desert, there's one problem, right?
One problem,
Yeah, there's too many sand.
fan.
Right? Yeah, they have so many sand that it's getting in the instruments. Right?
What
Let
is
me
the
show you.
fan?
No, I mean this one. Sand.
Fan?
Mhm.
Oh.
Wait, let me show it to you.
Mm-hmm.
For example, this is the one in the desert, right? There's so
Uh-huh.
many, if you imagine, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, but
This
this is
is
the
this all is solar
solar
powered.
panel.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
yeah. There's so many,
Even though
right?
yeah, even though like the location is far away from the desert, they can also
Mm-hmm.
use that
Yeah.
power.
That's the reason why
Mm.
they actually put it there because there's so little
Oh.
influence, right, from other people.
Mm.
Okay, wait, I'm just looking for the word. Where is it? I did not save. Wait. Actually, if you go to the beach, right, there's sand, if you remember. What is sand?
Fence.
Mm-hmm. Sand.
Can you type the spelling?
Yeah, it's the same here on the chat. This one.
A
I think this is what.
sand.
Yeah.
Ah, okay,
How do
okay.
you? This is what you call it in Korean, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, sand.
Okay, that's the problem because it's so tiny. It always gets on
Mm.
the surface. It always scratch the mirror, right?
Mm.
Because it's so windy. And
Mm.
that's one of the reasons why they are thinking of abandoning this,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And one of
Mm.
the problems is that this tower
Mm.
right here,
Mm.
it gets too hot,
It's get
right?
too
It
hot.
gets too hot,
Uh
yeah,
huh.
because you're focusing all the light on
Mm.
that
Mm.
area.
Mm.
And when it gets too hot, it melts the beam. It melts the tower. They have to change this tower every month because it's melting.
Oh, really? I didn't imagine that.
Yeah, because if, for example,
Oh,
it's like
for
a magnifying
melting.
glass, right? If you
Mm.
focus the light on one end, it's hot. It's
Mm.
burning, right? It's the same
Mm.
principle. That's why a lot of people are actually not liking this technology.
Mm. And also, if there are too, like, since there are too many solar power systems, I
Hmm.
think it is difficult to organize and to
And
check,
even maintain them, right?
like,
There's so
maintain
many.
them. Because if, like, some of the restaurant will close their door, they want
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
operate anymore,
Hmm.
then I think that we have to eliminate one of them. But like
Ah,
we
okay.
couldn't remember which part of this.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be confusing which ones we need to remove,
Yeah, it
right?
would be very confusing.
Ah, okay. I can actually most of the times they just install it on the rooftop, right? On the rooftop of the
Yeah,
building.
yes, it is
But one of
right.
the problems, like I said, it needs so many to be
Mm-mm.
useful, right? Look at how many that is. And that's
Uh-huh.
just powering one city.
Mm-mm.
Okay? If you notice, there's another one in the distance right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They actually have this many.
Mm-mm.
So if you see all of this times it to 50, that's how many
Mm.
they have,
Yes,
right?
too much.
So much, right? Even in Korea, where would you actually put this many solar powers? But if you
Uh,
notice, if you've been to some city like Busan or Jeju, they have wind turbines, right?
winter vine?
Yeah.
I
You
never
haven't seen
heard
them
about.
before? Wait. Let me
No,
show
I
them
don't
to
know.
you. You're not
But
quite
I
sure.
think that if in Korea,
Mm-hmm.
if the some of the apartment, if some of the owner want to set up the solar power system, they
Mm-hmm.
also set up like electricity system as well to
Ah, okay.
prevent the the bad situation from happening, such as the
Mm-hmm.
season for heavy raining season or
What you're
something
trying to
like.
say is like they all need to have backups, right? Just in
Mm-mm.
case one fail.
Yes, don't fail
Ah,
them.
okay. Actually, that's a good idea. For example, they can actually help this reduce the amount of things they need to do, right? For
Mm-mm.
example, you're producing energy from coal.
Mm-mm.
You can actually reduce it by using something like this, a wind turbine, right?
Mm-mm.
Do you know this place, by the way? The one on the chat?
No, but I think
Mm-hmm.
that in Korea we have many
Mm-hmm.
many places like this.
Mm-hmm.
So like some of the elementary school students
They go on
go,
trips,
yeah, go
right?
to the field trip
Mm-hmm. To these
for,
kinds of places.
yeah, for
Wow.
these places.
Ah,
Mm-mm.
okay. So overall, right?
Mm-mm.
Overall, do you think it's worth developing solar power?
Sorry, work developing word
Yeah, worth.
words.
Sorry, long spelling. Is it worth it to develop those
Uh,
kinds of things?
it is worth it. Hmm.
Is it worth developing? What do you think?
Yep, of course.
Mm-hmm. How? How
because
can we at least improve it? Can you give me some ideas how I can improve it?
you mean how can we
Mm-hmm.
improve this system?
Yeah. Yeah. How can we develop or how can we
Oh,
improve?
um, I don't know because these all systems can move by the nature, and we can
Mm-hmm.
control the nature. So, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Ah, you're
Or
quite unsure. Actually,
or
they.
we can
Mm-hmm.
also we can also put kind of the solar powered systems on top of
Mm-hmm.
this fan, big fan.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was no windy, but however, it that
You have a backup
season.
plan, right?
Oh yes, we have
You
a
don't run out
second
of
plan.
power. Actually, this is one of the most useful
Mm.
ones we have. This is the space station, right?
Uh-uh.
International Space Station.
Mhm.
And this has been working since 1980s, right?
Mm.
This is one of the biggest. Actually, this one,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Have you watched football before?
Football.
Yeah, football.
Yep.
Okay, this small one here, this one
Mhm.
here, that's the
Mhm.
size of a football field,
Football.
right? Something like a soccer field. Let's just use soccer field since they're almost the same size. Soccer field,
Mm.
right? So
Really?
for that one, yeah, this small size here is
Uh
the
huh.
same size as a soccer field.
You mean this is a very big machine, like
It's a really big
very.
machine, right?
Ah, yes. Wow. I didn't
So if
imagine
you,
that.
yeah, so it's gonna be like this. For example,
Mhm.
this is actually the size of a human, something
Uh.
like a dot,
Uh.
because this is a window, right?
Mm.
It's actually really big if you get to close to it, right? And they've
Sorry.
been operate. It gets really big when you
Uh.
get close to it. Okay.
Uh.
Okay. Well, anyway, actually, what
Mhm.
else can we talk about this one? For example, in India,
Mhm.
what do you know about India when it comes to their pollution?
Actually, I'm not familiar with India.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that India people,
Mm-hmm.
mm, are very
Already.
not kind. I heard about it before
You
because
don't think they're nice?
one of my friends is a cabin crew, and
Mm-hmm.
whenever she have to go to the India, there are many
Mm-hmm.
India passengers, and they
Mm-hmm.
always request something to them, and they
Ah,
demand something
they're
like,
really demanding,
yeah,
right?
they're kind of demanding. So
Okay, so you don't have a good view about them.
yeah, so I don't think so. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so.
Did you know
They
that there's a joke? A lot of people from other countries have a
joke,
yeah, they have a joke about them. They call it the this one.
pull it,
Yeah, toilet
bowl,
bowl.
what
Yeah.
it means.
Wait. How do you call it in Korean? Wait, let me show it. A toilet bowl. It's where you poop.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah, they mean because India, a lot of
Mm,
people,
use
they
their
just poop
hand.
on the street. Nah, they no,
Oh
they poop
really?
on the streets. Yeah.
On the street?
Yeah, anywhere. They poop anywhere actually.
Oh really?
Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people, especially Western countries, call them this, the blank
Oh.
blank country. Right?
Oh.
But so that's why a lot of people have a negative view on India.
Mm.
Okay. Well, anyway, Sunny,
Okay.
actually, I have to go. I have to go
Mhm.
outside for a
Mhm.
bit.
Mhm.
Okay, so thank you for taking my evaluation class. Right?
Mhm.
I think you're really good. I think
Yeah.
your speaking is actually better than mine.
No.
Okay, but anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day and try to enjoy
Okay.
your weekend. Okay?
Okay. Bye
Okay, bye bye.
bye.